Hey, what's up guys, OSJ here with another A500 mini video. With many people getting their hands on the mini either last week or this, it's become apparent that within a couple of days the burning question on people's mind is, what game should I add to the system? Well, in all truth it would be easy to add them all, as long as they are whdload, but then you're going to be left with a complete smorgasbord of games to wade through. In this video I'm going to tell you 10 games that I would consider a must add for the system. I've tried to only include one out of each genre, because who wants to play the same type of game over and over? And I've come up with 10 great games in order of greatness that weren't included on the system as stock. So let's stop messing about and take a look at the 10 must play games for your A500 mini. Kicking us off in 10th place we have North and South. Out of all the games on this list, this has to be one of the most played party games I had growing up. It's a super looking strategy action game from Infra Games. The Amiga was renowned for quirkiness in its games, and this one has it in abundance. From the tickling of a photographer's bum in the intro screen to the comical cutscenes within the game. It's also best played in 2-player mode for the best experience as you try to take over your enemy's territory in the American Civil War. In 9th place we have Lotus Turbo Challenge 2. This is by Gremlin Games, who were responsible for Supercars 2 that is on the mini, and out of all their games I would say that this is a standout game for them. From the off with the Barry Leach soundtrack, this game is ingrained in my memory. The gameplay is as close to an arcade racer as we got on the system, and the multiplayer option with the split screen is brilliant too. I'm not sure if link play will ever be an option on the mini, but it's supported, and I would love to one day link 2 minis and play against a mate, because that would be awesome. Eighth place is taken by Wings. The glaring omission from the A500 mini games list was that it didn't include any cinemaware games, and really they were one of the main reasons that people got the Amiga, as the graphics on these games were unreal. I had a few to pick from like Defender of the Crown, Rocket Ranger etc, but in the end I've gone with the one that I plays the most, and that's Wings. With the cinemaware games we didn't just get a game, we got a true movie experience, and for me Wings is the one that delivers on all aspects that a game should. Fodder is in 7th place, another iconic soundtrack and one that loads of people on the A500 mini stock games video I did said, but where is Fodder? The game is a strategic point and click shoot 'em up that I'm sure that most of us will have played back in the day. The thing is with retro games, and it's something that was largely missed in compiling the A500 mini games list, is that retro games is not just a game, it's a memory, and this game will hold so much nostalgia for most Amiga owners, and the moment you fire it up you're immediately transported back to simpler times, the good old days. Sensible World of Soccer is in 6th place, so there were multiple versions of SWAS, so I guess you just choose the one you remember most fondly, as they were all good. SWAS is a game that many people will have hammered back in the day and been good at, but I warn you, if you are out of practice, don't expect just to pick this up and be winning all the time, because it won't happen. Coming back to this game after 35 years or so requires a full new mastering of the controls, but it's worth it, as it's definitely the premier football game of its era. I actually know some lads who have bought the A500 mini for the sole reason to add SWAS, as they love it so much. In 5th place we have The Settlers. This game is an absolutely beautiful strategy game and definitely the best strategy game on the Amiga. Anyone who played it back in the day will have lost so much of their young lives to it, as it's so addictive. It's a game that you can just chill and play and will have you playing for longer than most of the stock games. The music again is an instant time machine back to your youth, and the amount of love and detail that has gone into this game pretty much sums up what the Amiga scene was all about back then. Fourth place is taken by Moonstone. So Moonstone is a game that is crying out for a remastered release, as this was a game that blew my mind when I was younger. Way back before Mortal Kombat caused controversy with its gore, this one was like nothing I had seen before. Yeah, I'd seen the decapitation in Barbarian, but the gore on this was on another level. It's also the first game that really scared me with a ground monster that would jump out on you. It's a game that me and my mates loved but never ever finished, but I have recently on my channel, and it's epic. Banshee is in third position. The great thing about the A500 Mini is that it supports AGA games, and Banshee is a game that I never played when I was young, as I only had an A500 that couldn't play it. As you all know, I love my shoot 'em ups, and Banshee for me is definitely the best shoot 'em up on the system. It has that real Bitmap Brothers steampunk feel, even though it's not Bitmap Brothers, and for me, I would actually go as far as to say this is my favourite Amiga game now, but it does lack that one bit of magic for me with not playing it as a kid, and that's the nostalgia factor. So that's why it's not top. Second place is taken by Turrican 2. This and the next game were the most mentioned games in the A500 mini video I did, with most saying that the omission of them was ridiculous. I have to agree with that, and at least one of these needed to be on, and probably this is the one that I would have picked, as it's just a truly iconic game for the Amiga. The soundtrack from Chris Hulsbeck is maybe the best of his work. The graphics and gameplay are phenomenal, with just the right amount of difficulty to make the game hard enough to challenge you but not piss you off. It's the first game I loaded up when I got my Amiga out of storage, as it just oozes nostalgia and actually still plays as good as it ever did. And now, in first place, we have The Secret of Monkey Island. I can only assume that this wasn't included due to licensing issues, and I'd like to hope that when Retro Games Limited were compiling the list, that this was on there and some work actually went into adding it to the stock games. As if there's one game that everyone and his dog mentions when you talk about the Amiga, it's The Secret of Monkey Island. Lucasfilm really pulled it out of the bag with this one, and delivered maybe the most iconic point-and-click adventure game of all time. Oh, scrap that. It is the most iconic point-and-click game of all time, and always will be. From the off in this game, you're thrust into the world of cutthroat pirates, and anyone who had the Amiga will definitely have played this back in the day, and the moment you load it up, you're back there in your teens sitting in your parents' house on your crappy MFI computer desk having the time of your life all over again. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope this countdown of 10 games has given you some ideas on what games to add to your A500 Mini, but if you want a more extensive list, be sure to watch my video on 75 best Amiga games ever. I'll put a link at the end of this video. Let me know in the comments below what games you plan on adding and playing, and if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more great retro content. Oh, and if you want to support the channel like these retro stars going up the screen right now, get on over to my Patreon channel where you can get your name in the end credits, Amiga crack draw, video requests and more in the future. Till next time, this is OSG signing out.